This week is going to be an interesting week for sure. There is just not anything that I am excited.
I'm so excited.
So
it's us. We're
it's
huge.
us. We're actually on time this week.
What is happening?
We missed last week as far as the day. We did it on Friday. It was so cool because some of our guys that watch in Europe were actually able to jump in the middle of the day and chat with us. So that was a cool experience. But welcome back to the normal time, guys. 8 o'clock on a Thursday or 9 o'clock, depending on where you are, whatever time. It's 8 o'clock for us here on a Thursday night. Still light outside Joe's window.
You don't even have windows.
True, I'm in a closet. But I do have your beautiful painting here behind me.
That's true. That's true.
Occasionally you can see the astronaut when my bald head gets out of the way.
Mostly there's this weird beam of light shooting out of your head the entire podcast, and I just watch it. It's great.
But guys, Joe and I apologize. This week sucks. This week is going to be a hard week to pull goodness out of what's coming out. 9 p.m. Toronto. Yes, awesome.
Hello, Toronto. Wow.
But it is a hard week to pull out some books, but we are going to show you some books. We're going to talk about this past week's books because part of the reason we had, as hard as it was to get on a Friday morning or midday to do a show, we had to talk about the books because last week's books were awesome. And so we're going to flashback, look at some of them. We're talking about, Joe, did you even make it to the shop, though, this week? I did not make it. I have them on hold, but I didn't make it.
I haven't been yet.
Yeah,
anything that I was going to pick up was not going to be hot.
Yeah, or there's going to be 30 copies of it. So
yeah, I mean, a bunch of Black Label stuff, like that Christian Ward, Aquaman. So I wanted to look through that. Nothing that I don't think won't be there next time I go.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. So,
well, and like the Grimm second print, we talked about it last week. Evidently, more came to the shops, and they're still listed for 2015. The price is coming down.
Yeah.
We tried to say allocated is very different than shorted. Yeah. Some stores still didn't get their copies, or maybe they didn't. They claim they didn't get them. I'm also going, how many stores really ordered more than 5 or 6 if they're not, unless you pre-ordered them? Like if you're not a big enough store to carry second prints when you still have first prints on the wall.
Right.
I mean, I don't foresee stores jumping on that necessarily, and you'll see, guys. You'll see why, because we're going to show you the second. So here's some of the books that we're going to look at. It was hard to find 3 covers to put as my favorite 3 covers for the week. This episode,
skip week, I like that.
Yeah. Episode 27, guys. We've been doing this. We've been very consistent. Even if one of us couldn't be here, we've been able to pull it off. So let's look at what we got for this week. Well, let's look at last week, actually. I was dumb. And maybe not. I assumed, Joe, this book in the center, this Amazing Spider-Man, was a Fortnite character because it's Fortnite stuff. And I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool Fortnite character. She looks exactly like something I would think, not that I've ever played Fortnite, that a Fortnite character would look like. No, this is Sakura Spider-Woman or Spider-Man or whatever. Sakura Spider that premiered in one of the black, white, and red Deadpool books. So it's the first cover appearance of her. Not that she's in the story at all, but the first cover appearance. So, but because of that, this 1 for $50 Amazing Spider-Man book is going for, the cheapest I saw it go is $150.
Holy crap.
I mean, it's going for $200. I mean, it's ridiculous. If you were able to score one before, I think people knew it'd be hot the second it was identified. This is the stupidity of me not doing enough research to know is Sakura Spider character. It makes me sort of want it just because of who it is, but I'm like, I'm not going to pay those prices, especially in today's market when all the comics a lot of them are slowly trickling down. So I don't want to pay top of the market for something. Right. We knew the sync.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's going for at least ratio, if not double ratio. I mean, every site, every article I saw last week, every YouTube video talked about how amazing this cover is. Odds of me getting it probably slim because I did not go to the store on the day it went out. Because
Right.
I don't think too many stores are going to order 40 copies of it so you can get both covers or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
and then the Jock Batman. I hate to say that you can get it for under $50. It's a a 50 ratio, but you can get it for probably between 35 and $50. I still wanted to show it off because it's a gorgeous cover.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the one before when we talked about that before, but
yeah,
still,
that one's amazing.
yeah.
It's hard to hit every time. I mean,
Yeah.
even Jock bats 500. Man.
So now we actually have to talk about this week's books,
And
we're gonna go Gwynverse. Yes, I mean
you don't even care really.
No, I will say this: I've becoming a bigger and bigger David Nakayama fan, and like I interviewed him a long time ago. Just awesome dude. I'd like these covers, but I don't want to buy the books.
Right.
It's
I get that.
It's really hard sometimes when you're like, oh, this is I don't know. It's sort of okay. I'm trying to think. Like I just picked up. I don't know which box it's in. I just picked up one of David Nakayama's very first covers they did for Marvel, which is Marvel Adventures Spider-Man 37. He did one cover for he did lots of interiors of some of those books. That's where he got some of the first places he got started. He did like a Witchblade, some Witchblade books and different things. But I found that. I mean, I've slowly started collecting. This is a free comic book day where he did the cover.
Oh, nice.
Of it, but it's before he had DNA as a signature. It's just DN. So I like his style. I like what he does, but I don't care about the Gwynverse. I mean,
right. And if you don't care about it, man,
yeah,
who cares?
I will probably read it when it gets done because it's a 5-issue thing. I don't know. It's just hard. And the other side of this is because I think we talked about this when they first came out. I would say almost every character, and I haven't read it, so I don't know. Every spoof character has been on a cover of a book as the Gwen theme.
Yeah.
So you have to go back to the Marvel Super Secret Wars or whatever and collect them all. And they've all been $2 books for forever. So
yeah,
if a character takes off, it's a little different. It's the same reason that we have Gwenpool is from that little run of things. So yeah, there's Gwenverse.
yeah. Cap's back.
Cap is coming back. Did you read this solicitation for this?
I did not.
It supposedly there's some secret behind his shield and what the symbols is or something. So I'm intrigued just a little bit. Will I go out and buy it? Probably not. Though not. I do sort of like this whatever cover on the left, the John Marudos cover, just because of the novelty of it. I've always been a fan of pictures that make pictures or text that makes pictures. It's sort of fun, especially because it's like all his ever bad guys all make up around the outside, and then it's his different names, different best friends are in the A, and then I had to just want to stare at it to figure out what's the story.
What else is going on?
Yeah. But I love the incentive covers are gorgeous, but it's Cap, and Cap has, I mean, there's so many gorgeous Captain America covers if you care. I mean, we went on that run back when we were Jay Lee. He did that run that we liked. Cassidy did that run that we liked.
Those are maybe the most iconic ones for me.
The Winter Soldier run. I can't remember who did those covers. I think Ross did some. Granoff did some.
Yeah,
they're just gorgeous.
I love that run too.
Yeah,
but I haven't really kept up with Captain America after that.
Yeah, I've picked up a story here and there. Like the last run that the Alex Ross covers were gorgeous. Yeah. That run after he went to prison and when he went to prison, it's actually a pretty good little run. But there's just so much out there. It's like you pick who's your person you follow, and that's where you get stuck.
Do you know who's writing that?
I do not. And let's see if we can see it. And of course, on these 3 covers, you can't see who's writing it. You always hit me with a question where I'm like, I don't know quite everything.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot. It's a lot to process a week before everything exists.
Yes.
But this I'm excited about.
Yeah. Tell me. I mean, of course you can read it, but
yeah. I mean, nobody knows much about it. I liked the free comic book day that they did. it was a nice, small, self-contained story. I mean, his artwork is so great. He's kind of like Jay Lee on steroids now. Like, I remember when he first popped up and he was like, everybody was calling him a Jay Lee clone, and now it's kind of like the other way around. Nobody cares about Jay Lee.
Yeah.
But yeah, I pre-ordered this, so I will be getting. I'll give you a rundown as soon as I get it. It's not super expensive either, though. It's only I think it's $16 for the hardcover.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I am interested in it. I haven't actually. I think I haven't read the free comic book day. I think I have it. Sometimes I always have to look around there. And where did I put that one?
Yeah, it kind of has like a not Black Mirror, but almost kind of a Black Mirror feel to it because it's very self-contained. It's really small.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jay Lee,
there he is.
We both had the same. We were running through these just before the show. We both had the same feel.
We just sighed. Oh my god! Yeah. I love Jay Lee, or I used to love Jay Lee. Right? I would pretty much get everything I could that was Jay Lee. That goes all the way back to like what
his X-Force and X-Factor covers back in the day.
I was about to say X-Force stuff and like Extinction Agenda or the one after that.
I think he was the X-Factor. He wasn't even on the X-Force. He was the X-Factor.
Yeah, X-Factor. That's right. And then all the way through, like he has a G.I. Joe Transformers like combo that is so freaking hard to follow. The writing is all over the place. Pictures are great. See, Snake Eyes is awesome. But the solicitation does not grab me. And like, you know, we both grew up pretty hardcore church going here in the Deep South. And I don't know. I was just kind of turned off by the solicitation. And if we're turned off, like, that can't be good.
Well, and there's also a kid's book, like a middle school age book called like The Seventh Son. There's a really bad movie that came out. And actually, I think there's 2 really bad movies based off. And it's all about like the seventh son will save you. And that's what the story is like. This guy could be the second coming of the Christ. And his name is what, Dirge or
Dolph, I think.
Dolph. I mean, I don't know. And I liked Jay Lee's style. I liked his Wolverine covers and that stuff that he did. But here lately, it feels like everything looks like this. He did. Yeah.
Everything's foggy.
Yeah.
And that's been going on for years. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna give this a look. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not gonna look at it. But I'm definitely gonna look at it. Whether or not it will prompt me to buy it, I don't know.
Yeah, that's sort of how I feel as well. And guys, that's literally those were like all the covers I could get, or sets of covers I get excited about. I do like this Nightmare Country number 3, 1 for $25. It's just fun. Is there value to it? I don't think so.
Probably not. I don't think is this Sandman universe doing anything?
I haven't heard. I mean,
maybe after the show comes out, people.
Yeah, I mean, people are really pumped. I know Sandman books are starting to move, but the ones that are moving are the cheap ones. So it's like people just want to pick up the books for the stories. But yeah, and then we're both Paul Pope fans, but this is just not one of his, in my opinion, not one of his better covers.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not.
But it
took me a second to even realize it was Paul Pope.
Yeah, like if I hadn't read it, I would have gone with some other artist, but yeah. But at the same time, I don't think of Paul Pope and trying to do sexy. Like that's not what I picture
that's not him.
He does all four. I mean, I actually like some of his indie stuff, the Haggard West.
Oh yeah, all that stuff's great.
Battle Boy and all that's gorgeous, great books.
Yeah. I wish he'd put out the second volume of Battling Boy.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for. I think he's about 5 years overdue.
Yeah, it's good. So, I read that this summer or last summer.
I don't think it's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, that Batman Year 100 is in my top 5 favorite graphic novels of all time.
Yes,
it's crazy weird.
This cover will not be on anyone's top list. If we both weren't Pope fans, it probably wouldn't have been on ours either.
Yeah,
And also, if it wouldn't have been such a bad week, because I
Right.
mean, neither one of us like wrestling, and yet I'm highlighting a wrestling book on here over the list.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of people who do dig on wrestling.
Yeah.
So I understand the whole like nostalgia of it. And it's, what's his name, right?
Daniel Warren Johnson.
Warren Johnson. Like, he's the guy to do this.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I like the A cover too.
Yeah, it was just, I'm a big James Herron fan, so I had to show off.
I sometimes get their work
Yeah.
mixed up.
Yeah,
so
I mean, this definitely feels like Warren Johnson a little more than Herron, but
yeah, they have the same kind of like attack mode for when they draw.
yeah.
I'm not super into that book, but I'm gonna look at it for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a look. I mean,
I may buy it. I don't know.
His Myrtle Falcon was just an interesting book when he did. I think he's doing Jurassic League, isn't that he?
Yeah.
Which is
the second,
coming out.
Second one, yeah, second one comes out.
The cover just wasn't that great. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
but
they're too busy.
Yeah,
we don't like covers that are super busy.
Yeah, because that's why we like these.
Yeah.
Radiant Black. Honestly, I can't even remember what number it is, but it's sort of fun, just clean cover.
4, maybe.
No, this is like 14 or 17.
Oh, something. Radiant Black, not Rogue Sun.
Not Rogue Sun, or
yeah. I don't even. I tried to get on that train. I just couldn't do it.
No. I got into it for a minute, and then I'm realizing I'm like, I can't. It's just the Power Rangers for Image.
Yeah. Which again, there are people who love that stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually a good not read. Us,
It was a decent read, but after a while, it's like, okay, it's just not for us. But we both of us are singing Ian Geiss's name over and over again now. I'm so happy he's getting to do lots and lots of covers.
Yeah, these are awesome.
Yeah. Have you kept up? I mean, it's only on issue 4, the Iron Fist. Have you read the other 3?
I read the second one.
I just finished the first one. How's the second one?
It's fine.
It doesn't. I'm not sure if I.
Yeah.
It just is.
It just is. But I mean, there are those Iron Fist runs that are so amazing.
Yeah.
And then
Brubaker's run is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then Kari Andrews.
Yeah, I love both of those like so much.
Yeah.
But I like this orange thing.
Yeah, I'm more in the blue. Put them side by side makes the orange stand out even more.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, but it's Fantastic Four, and it's so hard. There's so few Fantastic Fours covers, and also I can't even think of how many. I mean, can you count the number? I probably can count on both hands, maybe even just one hand, the number of Fantastic Four issues I've read. Like,
yeah, maybe 10.
Yeah, like I've read them as part of other things. I've just never.
I don't think I own a single Fantastic Four book, but that's because any Fantastic Four book that I want is worth way more money than I'm willing to shell out.
Yeah.
I would want some of the ones like the ones you have, but probably not going to find them. Not going to find them in a shoebox somewhere. So
you gotta know how to hustle.
Yeah. All right, what else we got? Indie Spotlight.
Yeah, we talked about this before. I'm sort of pumped about this book, and it's going to let me down. I know it will. But this Calculated Man, it just looks like it's going to be fun.
I can go ahead and tell you, it's going to let you
down. I finally figured out. I told, and we talked about this weeks ago.
Yeah, we did.
He's basically like a super smart accountant that always thinks of the numbers in a mob or whatever. But when I see the cover and I think of the possibilities, there's a episode of Fringe, the TV show back in the day, where there's a serial killer that was our hitman that walked around and like he could calculate out if he put a pin right here, the person he wants to kill will bend over right as the bus comes through and kills.
Right. Yeah.
And like it's a really ridiculous episode, but that's what I thought of the second I read the sort of solicitation.
Yeah.
I was like,
and I thought of a Rube Goldberg machine and like the Equalizer.
Oh yeah.
These like way to find the path to the thing you want. But I looked at the preview pages that they had on something.
Yeah.
And the artwork just doesn't match the vibe.
Yeah.
From what I was reading. So that was weird.
Yeah, and I think Moody does the cover, but Alberto Albuquerque.
Albuquerque, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of him. Paul Tobin, I've heard the name before,
Yeah.
but I don't know much of his stuff.
Yeah.
This book in the middle, know nothing about it, but this is the B cover, which is an homage to the probably my favorite Transformers cover. So it's sort of, I think the A cover had like a giant spider, and it's called
Yeah.
Endangered.
Yeah, it does. Big spider like coming over like the
Yeah.
planet.
Well, you see a big giant spider head in the little barcode box.
Yeah.
But I don't know much more about that book. And then finally, Grimm 2 is coming out. I don't know. I didn't read issue 1. I do have issue 1. I just haven't read it yet. I read the preview. It intrigued me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's the 1 for 25 for that. Toss up for me. The other one's a Stephanie Hans, but it's a spoiler variant, so it's actually just for cover price or something. I don't know why it's a spoiler. Like it drives me nuts. They now call things spoilers. I'm like, how is a spoiler? She's standing.
Right.
I mean,
she can stand.
She can
just
stand
in
now.
case you're wondering. We're already here, man. This is a fast week.
Yeah. I guess the only thing I would point out, I get exhausted, and this is more for audience people or whatever. When I look at what Boom has offered this week, there's 4 books. Hellas Ever After. It was okay. The first one, I haven't read the second and third, or second one yet, so I don't know.
I kind of liked that Dave Johnson cover too, though.
Yeah, it was all right.
It's weird.
Angel, Grimm, and Power Rangers. My question is, Angel and Power Rangers, I know they're fans for those types of books. There's the Buffy world who loves Buffy, but now Boom is doing like 4 different types of Buffy books. Angel being one of them, and there's like a Willow, and there's a Buffy and Generations, and a Buffy the Last Slayer, and all these different. And then there's Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin, and then Power Rangers Universe. Do the people that read those and collect those, are they getting exhausted because are they screaming for more? Like, when does it feel like, I mean, because I know I feel like this for Spider-Man. Like,
right.
When they have Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Spider-Man Savage Spider-Man, and Sinister War, and like, I mean, do you feel the same way when Batman has 6 different things?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like everything. Like, of those 6 Batman books that are going on right now, one of them might be like a creative team that I'm like, all right, let's get all those. And then the other stuff, I'm like, I might read that one day if I can find it for dirt cheap, you know? So, I mean, yeah, I don't know who's buying all this stuff.
Yeah. Amen, gameplay. I told you it's a skip week. It is hard this week for us to find things to talk about. But we'll move on to the next slide. But yeah, I mean, I'm showing a G.I. Joe book from the animated whatever, though it does take me back.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, this straight up feels like the movie, like the when Serpentor and all that, the ice and everything.
Yeah.
So
yeah, again, I just have childhood dreams of G.I. Joe being a great comic, and it just very, very rarely gets there for me. Yeah, this is kind of cool though.
Yeah, this is Arthur Adams. It's 1 for 25. Potential value. Adams has his fans. To me, this could be worth more popular for the sexy cover crowd people if he turned down the lightning just a little bit.
Yeah, or got rid of the yellow behind it, so it was black. It was black.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be nice too.
Yeah, like it's just
too busy.
There's too much going on. Yeah, like
for it to be one character.
And he doesn't have to hide anything. Like a lot of artists do that to like kind of hide. Well, you know, I don't do anything special.
Yeah,
but I can color this thing like a crazy person, and then people will be like, "Oh, this is great." He's got amazing marks. His draftsmanship is impeccable. So I don't really know what's going on with, because it's hard to read, you know.
Yeah,
you know, just looking at it, you get lost a little bit. So,
2 other books on the list here that we got to mention a little bit. The Opus is the same company that's doing the Frazetta stuff.
Yeah,
Bill and Ted.
I saw that. And I really wanted to like a couple of the covers.
Yeah, the one
and
that
I almost did.
the one for 20 that totally almost is good. Like it's right there. And then they do these every year. The Udon Street Fighter swimsuit specials or whatever.
Are we
and
still doing those? That was my first thought.
Yeah,
we still get to do those. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, they and you and I find them in dollar bins the next year, and then we go, oh, this nope, not worth anything. It's like the Grimm's fairy tales. There are some that are worth things, but those that are worth things are because they're a Comic-Con exclusive for some random con they go to, and those are the ones that end up being worth anything. So it's like if I get the one for 200.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, these regular ones only get them if you collect them. There's like 4 different ones, then a 1 for 25 or 1 for 5. The 1 for 5 Panzer one is actually my least. It's the most ridiculous one of them all. It's like
there were a bunch, right? There's like 5 maybe.
Yeah, there's 5, and all of them are like sexy girl covers, and then the Panzer is like a team shot, and it's like the guys wrestling on the cover. I'm like, I guess it's more Street Fighter-ish, but what's your point of selling swimsuit covers?
Right.
So, yeah,
it's a weird thing.
So yeah, it is one of those weeks, guys. Not a lot to get excited about. It's more of a hit up your back issue bins, hit the cons. It's con season's kicking in. It's definitely a week that I would skip. I probably am going to skip it. Yeah, I can't even muster the go, you know what, I might, even though I love this Fantastic Four cover, I still am not going to go chase it or anything. Like if I can get it for under 10, maybe. And that's for a 1 for 25. But yeah, it's
yeah. I don't know if it's, I mean, it can't be us. Like we can't be having fatigue because we get real excited like every 3 weeks. There's like awesome books and we're like, whoa. Because as I was trying to get ready to see what was happening this week, I was like, man, there's nothing grabbing me. And then you texted me and said the same thing. And I was like, okay, good. So it's not me.
No. I mean, and some of it's, maybe this is the week to catch up on reading, to go back through and read some of these books that we haven't been reading. I mean,
right.
But no, it's.
Well, also, there will probably be a pretty big July push.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like Mandalorian's coming, like the big summer blockbustery things will start to hit, and probably this is just like we got to get there.
Yeah.
So I'm sure in 2 weeks we'll be like, holy cow, I can't believe all these books are coming out. But that is not this week.
But also, I think it's Marvel. Yeah, Marvel pushed back 5 to 10 books, like almost like entire month's worth of books has been pushed. So the things that we had heard, the printer problems, there now. The big boys are starting to feel some of them, and so I think they're starting to choose like, when are we going to release our books? Do we? Because I don't know if you noticed, for a while there, it felt like we always had a 1 for 25. Now there were several books from Marvel that didn't have an incentive at all.
Yeah,
which threw me off. I was like, oh, surely this haven't. Nope, no incentive. My list was still longer than I thought it was, but it was random books like Power Ranger. Not random. Power Rangers always has like 16 incentives.
Right.
But yeah, but guys, like, subscribe, tell us what you think, leave us a comment. Maybe we're bashing your favorite book. Please tell us that. Tell us how dumb and stupid we are. We don't know anything because we don't.
No,
I mean,
two jokers who look into the future. That's all we do.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. Catch you next week.